So I'm heading to Madagascar. Um, my last trip to Sudan was cut short. I was supposed to be in Sudan for 30 days. The pandemic hit, and I had to leave 10 days after arriving on the last flight out back to the United States. I've been planning to go to Madagascar for a couple of years. To, the borders have been reopened in Madagascar, so now I am able to travel there. Um, For those who don't know, Madagascar is the fourth largest island in the world. It's located south of South Africa in the Indian Ocean. It's a third world country. They speak French, Malagasy, and very, very few people speak English. So it's mainly French and Malagasy. Um, so if you're going there, make sure you know a little bit of French or a little bit of Malagasy, or know some people that speak English there. I am fortunate in the fact that I have someone there that speaks English as well, so it makes things a little bit easier for me um, that my host speaks English. I just so happen to be a friend. So it's not like a service. I'm sure there are services out there where you could hire people that speak English uh, in the tourist aspect, but I will not be visiting Madagascar using the touristy routes or the tourist traps. I will primarily be with locals. Some things you need to have in place when you go. Before you go, of course, you need your passport. With the post pandemic kind of situation, you still need to get an RT PCR test performed 3 days, 72 hours before traveling. And when you get to Madagascar, you have to take a rapid test, antigen test, at the airport. And of course, you need a visa. You can also purchase that at the airport when you're there. Um, the when in the United States, a test should be free, or you could pay for it at a local hospital or wherever. But it's free at Walgreens. You just sign up and you do it that way. I received mine within 24 hours, so that's a good deal. They can do it within 48 hours. Um, when you go to Madagascar, the cost to take the rapid antigen test would be 15 euros, 20 US dollars, or 65,000 Ariari. Ariari is the currency of Madagascar. Um, the visa, I'll be doing a 30-day visa, is either 35 euros, $37 US dollars, or 115,000 Ariari. If you guys decide to stay longer, there's a 60-day visa, which is 40 euros or 45 USD, or 135,000 Ariari. The Ariari, if you're paying in Ariari, is much cheaper than paying with US dollars or paying with euros. Because they speak French in Malagasy, the French has a big influence there, so they do accept euros. Um, the airport in Tana or Antananarivo is a brand new airport. I think they opened it about 3 or 4 years ago. Um, if there is an ATM machine prior to the stations where I have to pay for the antigen test or my visa, I will take out some currency in Ariari and pay it that way because it's cheaper to pay in Ariari than paying with US dollars. But I am walking with exact change of US dollars to pay for the antigen test and the visa in US dollars if I have to. But I would rather pay in Ariaris if I'm fortunate. So once I get there, I will do a vlog about it with the airport and hope be able to answer the question if there is ATM there. A lot of my information I got from an expat that lives in Madagascar. She lives in Majunga. Her name, she goes by Malagasy Lisa. She has a Facebook page. She's easy to contact and she can answer a lot of questions that you may have. And she suggested certain banks to use where they don't charge a fee to take out money. And the ATMs do offer English, so you can take out money. You navigate with English as well as French and possibly Malagasy. But I did ask her if I can use the ATMs and if they have English, and she said yes. So that's great. Um, When you get to the airport, you got to have a paper filled out. You could download it, print it off the internet, where it shows your flight number and where you're staying and things like that in Madagascar, and you turn that in at the airport there. Um, the other thing is that place to stay is fairly cheap. Once you're there, things are cheap. It's a third world country, so the food is cheap, and more importantly, most of the food is organic. Um, as far as livestock goes, like chicken, like meats, most Malagasy, from what I see, get their meats fresh. Fresh, when I say fresh, alive. They kill it and right there and chop it up and whatnot and serve it that way. So, and all this stuff is organic. The the zebu is their main, the kind of cow cattle that they use there for food and sign of wealth and things like that. So I'll probably try some of that while I'm there. Um, so keep that in mind. A lot of foods are fresh. You eat a lot of rice there, so rice is a staple. So keep that in mind, especially if you're around a lot of locals. I can't really make sure you take your malaria. I got my malaria pills, which I start taking tomorrow, 2 days prior to traveling out, and a week after I come back. Um, Madagascar has a lot of malaria. But back to the ATM machine. Um, Visa seems like to be the most accepted card in Madagascar from what my research shows. I will be taking a Mastercard as well, but I have two ATM cards from two but different bank accounts from here. That's Visa that I'll be using there because every ATM there are limits on how much you could draw a day, and I want to be able to access money, as much money as necessary if I have to access that kind of money from two ATMs, or at the same time, so I'm not traveling back and forth to ATMs trying to get currency to be there. Um, Try and stay off the beaten path. Do your research before you go. Follow my this little vlog that I'll do, and you know the ticket to get there. I bought it several months ago. It was $1,500 roughly to travel there. But once there, everything should be cheap as far as to live. My hotel again, I believe, is like $300 for the 30 days I'll be there. The 28 days I'll be there. Plus, I'm renting a place on the beach in Fort Dauphin, which would be for 7 days, which is €250, or I think it's a lot cheaper if I pay in Ariaris. It's like 910,000 Ariaris, which is significantly cheaper than €250, or about 300 US dollars. I have not gotten a place in Majunga yet, but I will once I get to Madagascar and plan that trip after I come back from Fort Dauphin, um, which where I'll be for a few days. My hosts have family and friends there, and they want me to go there. I'll get to see the place. You could fly from Tana to um, Fort Dauphin, but I will not be doing that. I'll be taking something called a bush taxi, and the bush taxi is like a 3 day trip. The roads, from what I understand, are terrible. So it'll be a 3 day trip. You gotta stop at different places for the night before continuing on the journey. Um, so of course I'll do a vlog with that, and you guys will see what that's about. Plus, it'll allow me to see more of the country than if I were to fly. And since I'll be responsible, I'll have locals with me at all times. I have to take care of them while they're with me, so my expense has gone up for the overall trip, but it's not to the point where it's not doable, and it still comes out cheaper than trying to bumble around the place myself and then end up in the wrong place getting robbed or what have you. Um, how I plan to keep my money, um, methods I'm using running, like pants, uh, the spandex type running compression pants, and they have side pockets on the thighs. Keep money there, like my emergency money, I mean, if someone was to attempt to rob me, I doubt they'll take my drawers. Because I'm wearing them as drawers, as spandex drawers. Even if they pat me down, it won't feel anything because it's going to be flat. I already tested it out, and I'll let you all know how that work out once I'm there. Um, of course, I'll be carrying my ID, but I will not be carrying my wallet because I wouldn't need it. Just my American ID, my driver's license. I mean, they drive on the left there, so there's left-hand drive vehicles there, but we're not allowed. Americans or foreigners are not really allowed to drive there. You have to have license of some sort there in order to drive, from what I understand. But I have seen some other videos where foreigners were driving, so there might be a loophole around that. I was implicitly told not to wear gold while I'm there, so I will not be wearing any gold while I am in Madagascar. Most people wear silver or costume jewelry, but under no circumstances am I. My host told me do not wear gold. Um, I have two gold bracelets I have here that I got in Sudan when I was returning to the U.S. So that will not be going with me. Um, I will have to just go bland. Maybe a basic watch, um, and a bracelet, one of them cheap bracelets. Not that I would need jewelry, you know. If you have any questions, ask it in the comments section down below, just in case I miss anything. Like and subscribe. Follow me on this vacation. You all have a good day.